What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Doe Show. It's your boy Dame D, and I am back with another one. What's good? What's good, y'all? Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody. Your boy is back. We have been having a few technical difficulties. I'm kind of actually doing a test run today too. So let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. Actually, go check and make sure that I can be heard. But yeah. Let me do that now before I go any further. But what's going on with everybody out there? Your boy been off for a little bit. I had to, like I said, I was having some issues, with my mixer, and I'm still trying to figure everything out. But we are back, we're live, and we up. So what a better day to come back, and talk about, the few topics that I'm talking about. Cinco de Mayo. We definitely gonna talk about them Pistons tonight. We handle our business with Orlando. A lot of people didn't think that was gonna happen, but we made that happen too. But let me go make sure you guys can hear me. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I can be heard. So there we go. Let me back out of here. Okay. So what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dame D back in the building. The comment section is open. So I definitely want to hear you guys' comments. And I definitely need for you guys to make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Your boy's on his way to 1K subscribers. So that's important to me. That's one of my goals that I'm trying to reach over here. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button if you're already not subscribed to the channel. Yep. So let's talk about today, man. It's Cinco de Mayo today. Gonna have a lot of people out celebrating and drinking and and just having a good time. But my thing I want to talk about, what is Cinco de Mayo, really celebrated for, over here in the US. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure everything is good. Make sure you guys can hear me. We always turn everything into, a celebration and a party, and forget about the actual tradition and what we're celebrating it for, so we'll turn it into a party celebration. Therefore, the business will be able to, make money off, off these holidays and things like that, be able to, not just celebrate, but they're able to make money too, but it's really to celebrate, um, the Mexican army, I believe, defeating the, let me look this up. I had it right here. It's defeating the, because a lot of people don't know what we're actually celebrating it for. Okay, yeah, it's when the Cinco de Mayo is marked the anniversary of the Battle of Puebla, and I'm not if I'm not pronouncing that right. You can tell me in the comments. Is when the Mexican forces defeated the French army on May the 5th, 1862, in the city of Puebla. The Mexican troops led by General Incla and Singra, I'm probably tearing that up, were outnumbered and less equipped. So the victory became a symbol of resilience and resistance. So that's what Cinco de Mayo for. Over here in the US, we always turn, like I said, everything into a party, and then the business are able to monetize, and profit off of, off these, so-called celebration holidays. I have a comment in there. I have at and I don't have my glasses on. Illumin Grow Lighten. It's a long name. N54. Salute. What up, though? Salute. I'll get it right. I got to put my glasses on. But yeah, so that's what Cinco de Mayo is about. It's about the Mexican army defeating the French army. So that's what the celebration. That's what Cinco de Mayo is about. That's what we're celebrating or drinking and doing all that, so I just want to say that first before we went on and talk, so give me your comments. What did you guys think Cinco de Mayo was about? Most people just thought it was just a it's actually turned here in the US. It's turned into a day of just a Mexican celebration of drinking and eating it and just culture, and there's nothing wrong with that, at the end of the day. Yeah. So, and I want to thank everybody who's been watching the channel, who supported your boy. We've been down for, a month. I had some mixer issues, but hopefully I have that taken care of. So I want to thank everybody who's been still subscribed to the channel. So we're definitely going to be putting out plenty more content coming up in the days to come forward. But yeah, give me your thoughts. How are you guys going to spend your Cinco de Mayo? And to me, and I know it falls on the 5th, but it would be awesome if these dates fell, and I know everything is not going to fall on the weekend. So, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, let me know how you guys are going to celebrate your Cinco de Mayo. And it's falling on the day where Detroit Pistons, is back home to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's going to be a great game tonight, a slew of games, I believe, tonight. So we're going to be entertained, with Cinco de Mayo and a bunch of NBA games tonight. My Detroit Pistons, a lot of people counted us out against Orlando. We were able to, go down to Orlando, and I called it. We were able to go down to Orlando, get that game, and bring it back home and close it out. Now we're getting ready to go down. We're getting ready to come back home and face the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think that's going to be a tougher, matchup, I think, than Orlando, which Orlando was a tough matchup. A lot of people underestimated Orlando, and I think the Pistons themselves underestimated the boys, meaning game one when they came out and jumped on us. Yep. So, but yeah, give me your thoughts on tonight's game. What do you think? What you think them boys going to do? You think they're going to go out there and jump on Cleveland? Because I believe Detroit and Cleveland split the season series. So it's going to be a good series. One good matchup to watch is the center position. Durham is going to have his hands full with Cleveland center. He's a big boy. He's active, and he can jump. But yeah, it's going to be a good night, like I said, of entertainment. We're going to be able to watch, the Pistons. We're going to be able to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. So it should be a good night, and make sure you guys are out there being safe. There's no reason for people to be drinking and driving when you got Uber and Lyft and all these other programs that'll get you where you need to go. So, make sure you get to where you're going safe and be responsible, because we want to see you tomorrow. We don't want to hear about no accidents or things like that. So, just stay blessed, be blessed, and just be responsible when you're out there drinking, because I know it's going to be a lot of people drinking. It's not just let's go Cavs. Okay. It's going to be a tough matchup. Y'all going to be down in Detroit. If you're a Cavs fan, which it look like you are, y'all coming to Detroit. It's going to be loud. The crowd is going to be against y'all. And then you just know how it is when your bench players are playing on the road, and sometimes even for the starters. But it's going to be a great matchup, for Detroit and Cleveland. I was just talking about that. Y'all center is going to be a tough matchup for Durham. But, give me your thoughts and your opinion on that. And if you are not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button coming in. But happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there. How are you guys going to celebrate your night? Like I said, be responsible. There's no reason for people out there to be drinking and driving. There's going to be a lot of families out there today, celebrating the Mexican holiday, and we talked about that earlier. A lot of people don't realize or don't even know what Cinco de Mayo is about, and I'll give you guys a lesson on what a lesson on what it's about. It's about the Mexican army defeating the French army, that was pretty much outnumbered, outsourced, and things like that, and they were able to beat the French army, to sum it up, so it's turned into, here in the United States, we commercialize everything, therefore the business are able to profit too. So pretty much it's a celebration, about the Mexican beating the French army, but yeah, how are you guys going to celebrate your Cinco de Mayo? Like I said, I want everybody to be safe and just have a good time. And we're going to sit there and we're going to watch them Detroit Pistons whip some ass up on them Cleveland Cavaliers. It should be a great series. Cleveland did not look good in that last series they played. Neither did Detroit. I think a lot of people underestimated Orlando, which I'll be honest, I was one of the people that underestimated them, but we failed to realize that Orlando was not a number 8 seed. They were injured, coming off a lot of injuries during the regular season, and just gelled at the end of the year to be able to make that eighth and final spot. But normally they probably would be a 4 or a 5 seed. That's why it was so hard. It was a hard series for Detroit. But they did what they had to do. They went down to Orlando, handled business, and brought it home. And now we're getting ready to face off with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Awesome Sauce said both teams play horribly in their series. I agree. So it's only going to get rougher for both teams, and tonight is going to be it's going to be about matchups. So we have to expose the matchups, because we know Cleveland is going to expose our matchups. Durham is really not a center. He's a power forward, that's playing big, and it's going to be very interesting watching him play up against that center that Cleveland has over there. So it's going to be a great matchup. I can't wait to see what Harding is going to do. They got 2 shooters over there in Cleveland. We really only have 1 shooter, but y'all, we got to give it up to Tobias Harris. He's been doing his thing. He's been all over the court. If he can continue, and I'm just gonna, I'll be hopeful if he can just continue to give us 20 points a game. That'll be great, But he's been stepping up, playing big. We're home tonight. I think we should come out there, jump on Cleveland. And the crowd is going to be with us. It's going to be loud, and we should be able to jump out on them boys. We have to get great play from our guards tonight. Our guards, it's going to be important that that our guards play big tonight. And overall our defense. So we're definitely going to need AT to be out there helping out with that center position. Detroit basketball, let's go. Nathan 2560, let's get it. Give me your thoughts on tonight's matchup. What do you guys think? Do you think Detroit gonna go out there and jump on Cleveland? Because like I said, we had a rough start off in that first round with Orlando. Orlando is a good team. If they can keep them boys together, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. Banchero, he was giving us fits out there. And we got to be able to put a stop to Harden tonight. We can't let him do what Banchero was doing to us. So like I said, our guards, and then our guards was just too small for that. It was a matchup that was horrible for Detroit in that first round series. And it's going to be a tough matchup in the bigs playing with Cleveland tonight. Okay, Awesome Sauce said, I got Cleveland Cavs in 6, though. Okay, I can't see it. I got us jumping. I got Detroit taking it. I'm going to take it one game by game. I'm not going to call it, because like I said, we would have thought Detroit would have ran through Orlando, and look what happened. And Cleveland probably thought it was going to be, an easy matchup with that series, and they won 7. So, I'm just going to take it game by game. Let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. I've been having some mixer issues, and my new mixer just got in. So if you guys are not subscribers to the channel, please hit that subscription button. We're close to 1K subscribers. Your boy, that's one of my goals that I'm trying to reach over here. And with you guys, I will be able to reach that. Awesome Sauce said Mitchell about to have a legacy game. I don't know, man. That Detroit defense. Hey, listen, we're going to have to force these guys to shoot a lot of jump shots. And like I said, what up, though, Skeeter, man, 218. The Dirty D in the 6. That's what's up. That's what's up. And I'm not going to predict where we're going to close it out, because like I said, that Orlando game woke us up. I'm going to take it game by game, but I do pick Detroit to win the series. I will say that. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, we got a few people here watching. I need to make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button and also sharing and liking. Let's get these likes up. Your boy been down for a month. I have not been able to go live, but tonight is going to be a great night. I'm going to be doing live commentary, so make sure you guys come over. All you Cleveland fans, come on over to the show tonight. I'm going to be doing live commentary on that tonight. We're going to be breaking it down, going live. But I think the matchup, man, our bigs, we're going to have to play strong tonight. Because we'll be able to force Cleveland to be jump shooters tonight. And that's going to be the key to in the victories to Detroit being able to push this game out. OG Kicks, what up, though? Let's get it. Make sure y'all hitting that subscribe button, please. trying to get them subscriptions up. But yeah, you know, the key to Detroit's victory tonight is making Cleveland be jump shooters, and then also rebounding. And then not only that, turnovers. Our turnovers that first round was horrible. Cade needs to have a better and I hope the coach went over this with them. A lot of those a lot of the turnovers led to points, and we have to number these turnovers. Awesome Sauce said true. Cavs too inconsistent shooting. They were in the first round, you know, but we know that's going to turn around. Cleveland, you know, they got veteran shooters over there, you know, so they had a horrible first round. So did Detroit, you know, so we know that's not going to continue this second round. You know, teams are going to adjust. What up, though? Blessings from Australia. Philip 457. What up, though, Philip? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Who are you picking tonight in Detroit, in that Detroit Cleveland game? And I forget who else playing the second games. You guys let me know. You know, and then I want to say happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there. Make sure you guys are drinking safe. You're being safe. We want to make sure we waking up with y'all tomorrow morning. You know, so it's already tomorrow. Is it already tomorrow over there in Australia? OG Kick said if the Cavs can get Detroit bigs in foul trouble in each game, I gotta land in 7. Okay, I mean, yeah, that can happen, you know, because if they put our bigs in foul trouble, you know, meaning Thomas and wow, I can't believe I forget his name, but yes, if they put our bigs in foul trouble, we're going to be playing small ball. So you know, we gotta contain Cleveland, keep these guys to jump shooters, and we'll be all right. What up, though? Kevin A. Bruce said, "What up? Salute, old man. Salute. You know, yes sir, yes sir. Make sure y'all hitting that subscribe button. Helps your boy out. You know, happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody out there. Make sure y'all go over there to over onto YouTube. I know a lot of people is on Facebook looking too, you know, and I want to say what up though to everybody over there on Facebook. I want to say what up though to everybody on their Instagram. Make sure you go over to the channel and hit that subscribe button. Please look out for your boy. Your boy's on a mission. You know, we about to be putting out a lot of content. We've been down for a month. We up. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear too. You know, because I still got to get knock the kinks out and adjust everything to back how it was before I went down. Yeah, but yeah, man, it's going to be a great night of NBA basketball tonight. My Detroit Pistons, you know, we should be able to go out there and jump on Cleveland early, and with that defense, Cade, you know, and the main thing to me, man, y'all got to give it up to Tobias Harris. You know, if he can continue to do what he's been doing, we should have no problem. You know, being able to keep up with the two shooters over there in Cleveland. I'm not going to predict anything, you know, because like I said, that last round, man, it was horrible. You know, we started off on the wrong foot, so we gotta continue. And then I think it was the layoff that we had too. You know, so I think this quick turnaround, you know, it'll benefit Detroit. You know, both teams are, but it's been a quick turnaround for both teams. But you know, I think it'll benefit Detroit, meaning that you know we're gonna be at the crib. You know, them boys gonna be turned up tonight. Okay, you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, good look, OG Kicks. Excuse me, too. I need to drink some water. I'm a little hoarse, man. I slept with my window open, man. This Detroit weather is crazy, man. I'm worried about, okay, Awesome Sauce said, I'm worried about Harden's defense on Cade. He's not a bad defender, but he's slow compared to Cade. Yeah, I mean, that's true, man. You know, and it's known that Harden is really, he's really not a defender, man. He's out there to shoot. You know, so he'll guard you and then he'll just pass you on to the bigs once Cade shoot past him. And that's what he's going to do. You know, he's just going to be out there, you know, just trying to force Cade into that middle. You know, so it's going to be a good matchup, man. Our bigs got to show up. We got to show up big tonight, y'all. You know, I think if our bigs show up and you know, like I said, man, if our bigs show up, we should be good. Because the last round, man, our bigs, I'm not gonna say they got embarrassed, but they got outplayed. Really, Orlando they were just too long all around. It was a mismatch all around from the guards on down to the bigs. But yeah, man, happy Cinco de Mayo. Let me know what you guys are doing tonight, how you guys are celebrating. I know it's going to be a lot of people out there drinking. Harden can't stop a sign. Facts. And that's true. That's true. But the thing about him, he's an offensive player. They really didn't go out there and get Harden to be out to be defensive. Real talk. They got him to go out there and score. But it's the other guard that I'm worried about. Because he's a little bit younger. They're two vets, but he's the younger out of two. See, and that's what I'm really not worried about. These are shooters. They still can go out there and give you 30 a night on any given night. But Detroit is a much younger squad to me, in my opinion. When it comes to K and and who got to play big tonight, man. Wow, and y'all gotta excuse me, man. I'm having a brain fart today. But our guards, I'll just put it this way: our guards got to play big tonight. Our guards really did not show up. It was like I said, it was a mismatch. Once those guards show up tonight, we'll be all right, man. But yeah. I just want to come in for a second, man, and chop it up. We're definitely going to be doing live coverage tonight. I want to really just come in. I was just doing a test run. I hooked my equipment back up, made sure everything was everything. So you guys said you guys can hear me loud and clear. OG Kick said Harden can't get. Okay, yeah, I read that already. So yeah, like I said, I just want to come in for a second, do a test run on my new mixer. Amazon finally delivered it. It took over a month, for them to deliver my new mixer. Yep. So yeah, man, so hopefully everybody have a safe night tonight, and drink responsibly, just have a good night and watch the games. Who's put in the comment section. I forget what other games are on tonight after Detroit. And I believe Detroit is playing first, meaning that we're on the East Coast. I should have had that together, but I wanted to come in and check this mixer out and get everything. Okay, Lakers, OKC. Okay, good look, awesome sauce. See, and listen, that's gonna be that's gonna be a great series right there too. Even though most people is picking OKC pretty much to run through LA, but that's gonna be a good game to watch also. What did you guys think about that Knicks game last night? The Knicks, man. I know Stephen A. loving that. The Knicks, they've been on the tear, which we owe them, and I'm picking us to beat Cleveland because I want them next. We owe them Knicks some get back, because they did us dirty a few years ago. And oh boy, they guard, Bronson, that boy, he can shoot. But Duncan Robinson, man, that's who I couldn't Duncan Robinson, he has to have a good game tonight, man. I'm not gonna say he was exposed, but he was outmatched in that first round. He definitely has to have a good night. Awesome Sauce said Knicks looking like the best team in the East. Unfortunately. Yeah, but you know how that is, you can look like a great team and it's matchups, man. Really that's what that is. But I definitely would love to see the Knicks, in the Eastern Conference Finals. Because we owe them get back from a few years ago. Bronson, he went off on us, and that boy's still doing his thing. Yep. So who do you got in that Knicks series? They jumped off on them in game one. The Knicks will not get past the Sixers. That's what I thought. Skeeter Mills 218. Okay. Awesome Sauce said Stratus versus Duncan Robinson about to be cinema former Heat teammates. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, and our guards got to play. Listen, Duncan Robinson got to play big tonight. Because in that first round, I'm not going to say he was exposed. He was just a smaller guard, and them guards was too big for him. They was posting him up, and Just really he couldn't do shit, and then his shot was off. But hopefully, man, they got it together. Hopefully the coach got them guys together. And the turnovers. He had so many goddamn turnovers. And to me, even though he had that 30 and 40-point game, for you to be you an all-star, you got to be a little bit more aggressive. Put that shit down. Dunk that shit in their motherfucking face. You know what I mean? So a lot of he was blowing bunnies and shit like that. Dunk that bitch, K. Don't be scared down there. You know, he got to act like he a dark skinned nigga down low. Excuse my language, but yeah, man. K sometimes to me he plays a little bit. I'm not gonna say he just got to get a little bit more aggressive, man. Take it to another level. Get that dog in you, and that's what I mean. K got to get that damn dog in him, and that's all I'm trying to say. Sometimes he play like a light skinned, and that taking nothing away from the light skinned cats, because they ball too. But sometimes he play like a light skinned cat. Yeah, but man, I need for you guys to hit that like button, that share, and most of all, hit that subscribe button, man. Your boy been down. Your boy is back. I'm definitely gonna be putting up mad content. 218, man. I know who you is now, man. Skeeter Man 218. That was funny. Yeah, but man, listen, it's going to be a good night of basketball tonight. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of people out drinking. Make sure that you are safe. At y'all son, Print Pong 5009 says share your cash app ID. Okay, I got that. Here, let me see. But yeah, make sure you guys are safe tonight. Here, I'll just say it real quick. I'll put it in the comments. That's what I'll do. But yeah, make sure you guys are safe. There's going to be a lot of people out there drinking and driving, celebrating the night. Skeeter Man 218 said laughing out loud. I heard Tay told me, yeah. Yeah, I was cracking up. I'm like, man, I'm thinking that was somebody from the job, but all along it was my cousin. But yeah, man, make sure that you guys have a safe night. Drink responsible, and just be safe. Because a lot of people lose their lives every year on this day. So I definitely want to just, make sure everyone is safe. And again, drink responsibly. And there's a lot of services out there, Lyft and Uber. So there's no excuse. Most of all, man, make it home to your family, your kids, and your loved ones depend on you. And that's what it's about. Know your limit. And that's it. Have a good night. Just don't be out drinking and driving. It's going to be some games on tonight, so we don't have to be out drinking and driving. What up, though, Curry Smith? So yeah, it's a bunch of games on tonight. You can be somewhere stationary, enjoying the night. And we talked about, most people think Cinco de Mayo was just out there drinking and getting fucked up. It was about, and I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave off on that note. It was about the Mexican army defeated the French army, and here in the U.S., we turn everything into a celebration. Therefore, the businesses are able to make money, so, but understand that's what Cinco de Mayo is about. But yeah, I just want to come on too and test my new mixer out. I know I've been MIA, and that's the reason why. I don't really like doing things on my phone. I could have done a lot of things on my phone, but it's just not right. I like to be able to bring people in. I like for to be able to use all my cameras and things like that. See, without that, I won't be able to do things like that. So, but yeah, I want to thank everybody, man, who's been Corey Stewart said, drink at the crib. Yeah. That's what I'm, what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be at the crib chilling, enjoying my night. I had to take off. I've been having a little, having a flare up today, having, I got a little nerve down. Well, not nerve down, pinched nerve, I should say. What up, though, Corey Stewart? Yeah, but yeah, man. So that's why I've been off. I came on real quick. I just wanted to And I apologize. I did not know I was going to be this long. I just wanted to come on and test out my new mixer. My mixer went out, Corey. That's why you ain't seen me in a while doing any shows. So I've been waiting on my new mixer to get here, and it's Amazon finally delivered. After a month, I've been sitting here waiting on this thing to come, and it finally came. But yeah, man, like Corey Stewart said, drink at the crib. Your family is depending on you to be there after Cinco de Mayo on the 6th. So I want to see everybody on the 6th, which is tomorrow. Because there's going to be a lot of people out there drinking and driving. So stay out of the way. The Pistons is playing tonight, so you got every reason to drink at the crib, like Corey Stewart said. You know what I mean? And that's a thumbs up to Corey Stewart. Make sure you at the crib. Your family depend on you. So we all want to make it to see another day. But yeah, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Please make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button if you already are not subscribed to the channel. Please go over on YouTube on the channel. Make sure you're supporting your boy. And I thank everybody who's been supporting me thus far. We're getting ready to put out a lot of content. I'm about to run it up. I'm a month behind. And we closing down on like I said on my 1,000 subscribers. That's another goal to that set out that I'm getting ready to reach. So please support your boy. Continue to support your boy. And look, have a safe night. I'm also going to be live tonight. So come on back, you Cleveland fans that was in the comment. Come on back tonight. Come on in the channel. I'd love to hear you guys' opinion, your thoughts on tonight's game. Corey Stewart, give me your thoughts on tonight's game, man. Who you picking? I already know you picking, but give me your thoughts on tonight's game. Awesome Sauce said, God bless, stay safe. For sure. You too, my guy. Yeah, but no, man, at the end of the day, you guys be safe. You will see me again tonight. I'm probably going to do a little pre Pistons Cleveland talk before the game start up. So I just want to come in real quick, test this mixer out. Get the kinks out, set my volume and everything, and get all that stuff set for tonight. So, but yeah, I want to thank everybody who made comments today, who came on the show. That's what it's about. And make sure you guys share. So look, God bless. You guys stay safe. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody. And I expect to see everybody tomorrow. So drink responsibly and be safe. It's another one. It's your boy, Dame D, and I am out. Peace.